But welcome on in, welcome. So we'll be sharing with the visual novel Katawa Shoujo. Okay, we can hear it, but now it is missing. Okay. I'll just have to do it this way. Okay, hold on. Music's nice. Right. Yes, this is Katawa Shoujo. So this is a visual novel as an introduction, or if I'm remembering this right. So originally, I'm having an ADHD book, so I'm reading a book, writing a fic, and listening to you and music. Okay. No problem. So if I've recall information correctly, is that the initial idea for this was something that was like pitched on 4chan. And then it started to get like developed by people. But it's actually like morphed into something that actually like became something like very heartfelt and like, so like the reviews on this are pretty much all 100% are like all positive, are like really positive. Oh, this is great, this is very emotional, yada yada. It's a great way to start. I know it's one of those like weird thing, and that this has kind of happened twice. There's another that's like thing that had like a similar like another like visual novel type thing that did with that apparently started out as, what was that? I think it was I'm Gonna Hug That Gator or something like that. But this are, if you go on the Steam page for this, it's like all you wouldn't know it. It's all just like, oh, this is a very heartfelt, very nice, very emotional, this changed me as a person, etc., etc. type thing. So which I think that's right, hold on. Okay, no, wait. Okay, wait. The concept version is sketch created in December 2000 by Japanese doujinshi artist Raita Hanjo. From January 2007, the sketch was discussed extensively on the 4chan image board, and a multinational development group was assembled for users of 4chan and other internet communities. The group took the name 4-Leaf Studios based on 4chan's 4-leaf clover logo. So it's but once again, all this is also, you can't get this for free on Steam. But I think it's now, they were just saying that it's like, this is 15 years old. For now, and it's even got like some other like localizations for other languages. But we're gonna go ahead and start now. A light breeze pauses the naked branches overhead to rattle the wooden... Oh my gosh, I'm off to a great start. A light breeze causes the naked branches overhead to rattle like wooden wind chimes. This is a popular retreat for couples in the summer. The deciduous trees provide a beautiful green canopy far out of sight of teachers and fellow students. But now in late winter, it feels like I'm standing under a pile of kindling. I breathe into my cupped hands and rub them together furiously to prevent them from numbing in this cold. Just how long am I expected to wait out here anyway? I'm sure the note said 4 p.m. Yeah, the note slipped between the pages of my math book while I wasn't looking. As far as cliches go, I'm more of a fan of the letter in the locker, but at least this way shows a bit of initiative. As I ponder the meaning of the note, the snowfall gradually thickens. The snowflakes silently fall from the white painted sky are the only sign of time passing into this stagnant world. Their slow descent upon the frozen forest makes it seem like time is slowed to a crawl. The rustling of dry snow underfoot startles me, interrupting the quiet mood. Someone is approaching me from behind. Hisao, you came? A hesitating, barely audible question. For I recognize the owner of that dainty voice instantly. I feel my heart skip a beat. It's a voice I've listened to hundreds of times, but never as more than an eavesdropper to a conversation. I turn to face this voice, the voice of my dreams, and my heart begins to race. Iwanako, I got a note telling me to wait here. It was yours? Damn it. I spent all afternoon trying to come up with a good line, and that was the result. Pathetic. Yes, I asked a friend to give you that note. I'm so glad you got it. A shy, joyous smile that makes me so tense I couldn't move a single muscle even if I tried. The background of the effect on the snow is really nice. My heart is pounding. I was trying to burst from my chest and claim this girl for itself. So, here we are out in the cold. Wind stirs up the branches. The cacophonous noise is music to my ears. Monaco flinches ever so softly against the gust of wind. She rights herself as if supported by some new confidence. Her eyes lock with mine, and she lazily twirls her long, dark hair round her finger. All the while, the anxious beating of my heart grows louder. My throat is tight. I doubt I could even force a word out if I tried. See, I wanted to know if you'd go out with me. Motionless save for my pounding heart. But my vocal cords feel like they've been stretched beyond the breaking point. Hisao? Reach up to try to massage my throat, but this only sends spike of blinding pain along my arms. Hisao! Body freezes save from her eyes, which shoot open in terror. Hisao! The beating in my chest suddenly stops and I go weak at the knees. The world around me, the cacophony of bare branches, the dull winter sky. Iwanako running towards me, all these fade to black. First slipping away are the sound of Iwanako screaming for help, and the incessant clatter of the branches above. Four Leaf Studio presents Katawa Shoujo. Inspiration, alright though. I'm not reading all the names. been 4 months since my heart attack. In that whole time, I can probably count the times I've left this hospital room unsupervised on one hand. 4 months is a pretty... when you're left with your thoughts, so I've got plenty of time to come to terms with my situation. Arrhythmia. Strange word, a foreign alien one that you don't want to be in the same room with. Rare condition. It causes the heart to act erratically and occasionally beat way too fast. It can be fatal. Apparently I've had it for a long time. They said it was a miracle that I was able to go on so long without anything happening. Is that really a miracle? I guess it was supposed to make me feel better, more appreciative of my life. It really didn't do anything to cheer me up. Parents, I think, were hit harder by the news than I was. They practically had 2 hemorrhages apiece. I had already had a full day by then to digest everything. For them, it was all fresh. They were even willing to sell our house in order to pay for a cure. Of course, there wasn't a cure. Because of the late discovery of this condition, I've had to stay at the hospital to recuperate from the treatments. I first a minute felt as if I was missed. For about a week, my room in the ward was full of flowers, balloons, and cards. But the visitors soon dwindled, and all the get-well guests began trickling down to nothing shortly after. I realized that the only reason I'd got so many cards and flowers was because sending me their symphony had been turned into a class project. Maybe some people were genuinely concerned, but I doubt it. Even in the beginning, I barely had visitors. By the end of the first month, only my parents came by on a regular basis. Iwanako was the last to stop visiting. After 6 weeks, I never saw her again. We never had that much to talk about when she visited anyway. We didn't touch the subject that was between us on that snowy day ever again. The hospital? It's not really a place I'd like to live in. The doctors and nurses feel so impersonal and faceless. I guess it's because they are in a hurry and have a million other patients waiting for them, but it makes me feel uncomfortable. For the first month or so, I asked the head cardiologist every time I saw a rough estimate of when I'd be able to leave. He never answered anything in a straightforward way, but told me to wait and see if the treatment and surgeries worked. So I idly observed the scar that those surgeries had left on my chest, slowly change its appearance over time, thinking of it as some kind of an omen. So that's the cardiologist about leaving, but my expectations are low enough now that I'm not disappointed anymore when I don't get a reply. The way he shuffles around the answer shows that there is at least some hope. At some point, I stopped watching TV. I don't know why, I just did. It was the wrong kind of escapism from my situation. I started reading instead. There was a small library at the hospital, although it was more like a storeroom for books. I began working my way through it, one small stack at a time. After consuming them, I would go back for more. I found that I liked reading, and I think I became a bit addicted. I started to feel naked without a book in my hands, but I loved the stories. That was what my life was like. The days became increasingly hard to distinguish from each other, differing only by the book I was reading and the weather outside. It felt like time blurred into some kind of gooey mass. I was trapped inside instead of moving within. A week could go by without me really noticing it. Sometimes I'd pause in realization that I didn't know what day of the week it was. But other times, all the things that surrounded me would painfully crash into my consciousness. Through the barrier of nonchalance I set up for myself, the pages of my book would start to feel sharp and burning hot. And the heaviness in my chest would become so hard that I had to put the book aside and just lay down for a while looking at the ceiling as if I was going to cry. But that happened only rarely, and I couldn't even cry. Today, the doctor comes in and gives me a smile. He's seemingly excited, but not very. It's like he is trying to make an effort to be happy on my behalf. My parents are here. It's been a few days since I've last seen them. Both of them are sort of dressed up. Is this supposed to be some kind of special occasion? It's not even a party. There is this ritual the art headquarters has. He takes his time sorting his papers, then setting them aside, as if to make point of the pointlessness of what he just did. Then he sits down on the edge of the bed next to mine. He looks me in the eyes for a moment. Hello, Hasao. How are you today? I didn't answer him, but I smiled a little back at him. Believe you can go home. You're stronger now. Some precautions, you should be fine. We have all your medication sorted out. I'll give your father the prescription. The doctor hands a sheet of paper to my dad, whose expression turns wooden as he reads it quickly. So many. I take it from his hand and take a look at myself, feeling him. Am I supposed to react to this? The long list of medications back at me from the paper seems insurmountable. They all blended together in a sea of letters. Okay, that's a neat effect. Insane. Side effects, adverse effects, contraindications, and dosages are listed line after line with cold precision. I try to read them, but it's so futile. I can't understand any of it. Attempting to only makes me feel sicker. For the rest of my life, every day. Do at this point. Medications are always being developed, so I won't be surprised to see that list fade over the years. What kind of confidence booster is that? I'd have felt better if he hadn't said anything at all. Parents, I would believe it would be best if you don't return to your old school. Come down. The doctor has to say. He says it tells me full well that I wouldn't like it. Am I going to be homeschooled? Concern shows it's ignored. Understand your education is paramount. Don't think that it's wise for you to be without supervision. At least, not until we're sure that your medication is suitable. So I've spoken to your parents about a transfer. It's a school called Yamaku Academy that specializes in dealing with disabled students. Disabled? What? Am I? It has 24-hour nursing staff. It's only a few minutes from a highly regarded general hospital. The majority of students live on the campus. Think of it as a boarding school of sorts. It's designed to give students a degree of independence while keeping help nearby. Independence. It's a school for disabled kids. Don't try to disguise that fact. If it was really that free, there wouldn't be a 24-hour nursing staff, and you wouldn't make a hospital being nearby a selling point. Of course, that's only if you want to go, but your mother and I aren't really able to homeschool you. We went out there and had a look a couple of weeks back. I think you'd like it. Looks like I really don't have a choice. Heart problems. People with your condition usually tend to live long lives. You'll need a job one day, and this is a good opportunity to continue your education. This isn't an opportunity. Don't call it an opportunity. Don't call it a damned opportunity. Oh, you should be excited at the chance to go back to school. Want to return to school, and well, it's not the same one. School, that's an insult. That's what I want to say. It's a step down. It's not what you think. All of the students there are pretty active in their own sort of way. It's geared towards students that can still get around and learn, but just need a little help in one way or another. Your father's right. I mean, the graduates of the school have gone on to do amazing things. A person doesn't have to be held back by their disability. One of my colleagues in another hospital is a graduate. I don't care. A person doesn't have to be held back by their disability. That's what a disability is. I really hate that something so important was decided for me. What can I do about it? A normal life is out of the question now. It's funny. I'd always thought my life was actually kind of boring, but now I miss it. I want to protest. I want to blame this lack of reaction on shock or fatigue. I could at least yell out something now, something about how I can go back to school anyway, but no. I don't say anything. The fact is, I know now it's futile. I look around the room, feeling tired of all this. The hospital doctors, my condition, everything. I don't see anything that would make me feel any different. There really isn't a choice. I know this, but the thought of going to a disabled school, what are those even like? As much as I try to put a positive spin on this, it's very difficult. Try. A clean slate isn't a bad thing. But that's all I can think of to get me through this. At least I still have something, even if it's a special school, it's something. It's a fresh start, and my life isn't over. It would be a mistake to just resign myself to thinking that. At the very least, try to see what my new life will look like. Act 1. Life expectancy. The gate looked far too pompous for what it was. In fact, the gates in general seem to do that, but this one especially so. Red bricks, black wrought iron, and gray plaster, assembled into a whole that didn't feel welcoming at all. I wonder if it looked like what a gate for a school should look like, but couldn't really decide. Probably no. Of course, I didn't want to get stuck on thinking about the gate for too long, so I entered through it with a brisk pace that felt surprisingly good. Moving forward feels good. So I walked towards the main building of Yaku Academy with this brisk pace. I'm alone, as my parents are taking my stuff to the dorms, and there's supposed to be someone waiting for me. The grounds are incredibly lush, filled with green. It doesn't feel like the kinds of grounds a school would have, more like a park with a clean walkway, going past trees and the smell of fresh cut grass and all other park-like things. Words like clean and hygienic pop into mind. It makes me shudder. Shake them off. Stay open-minded now. It's your new life. You have to take it as it comes. That's what I tell myself. A few big buildings loom behind the leafy canopies, too big and too many for just a few. Or for just a school. Everything seems off, but it's different from what I thought I knew about schools. It's an uncanny valley. Even though I was told this is my new school, in the back of my head it doesn't feel like one. I wonder if the feeling is real or caused by my expectations of a school for the disabled. Speaking of that, I don't see anyone else here. It's kind of eerie. Kinda makes me wish there was somebody here so I could anchor myself to something tangible instead of having this feeling that I stepped into another dimension. The trees hum with the wind and green hues flashing all around me catch my attention. It makes me think about hospitals again. How they say that the operating rooms are painted green because green is a calming color. So why am I feeling so anxious despite all this greenery? After I stand in front of the haughty main building, I surprise myself by realizing why the gate bothered me. It was the last chance I had to turn back, even if I had no life I could return to. But still, after entering, there was absolutely no way I could go back anymore. Feeling nervous, and with this realization set in my head, I opened the front door. A tall man with bad posture noticed me as I enter. We're the only people in the lobby, so it's only logical. You must be Niki Nakai. So you are. Excellent. I'm your homeroom and science teacher. My name is Muto. Welcome. Seems a handshake that is neither firm nor sloppy, and he looks at his watch. The head nurse asks you for a brief check-in, but there's no time for that now. Or should I go later? Afternoon is probably fine. Should get going and introduce you to the rest of the class. They're waiting already. Waiting for me? I don't really like being the center of attention, but I guess it's inevitable in a situation like this. Somehow, not knowing what is waiting for me makes me feel really anxious. I almost missed what the teacher is saying. Do you want to introduce yourself to the class? Yeah, of course. I mean, sure, isn't that normal? Not everyone likes to be the center of attention. Probably one of those people, but I guess I should be the one given the first impression of myself. It's no problem. Let's go then. Just in case you think about my condition, as I followed the teacher up the stairs. Third door down the third floor corridor is marked as the classroom for class 3-3. Muto opens the door and enters. Good morning, everyone. Sorry I'm late again. For a split second, the door freezing on the spot. Get a grip. This is a big step, I know, but there isn't any point worrying so much about it. At least not this soon. I follow the teacher into the classroom and look around, partially so I won't have to meet the curious gaze of my new classmates. It's pretty spacious. The ceiling is unusually high and there's a lot of space left over around it in between the desks. An entire wall taken up by blackboards and high old-fashioned windows only make it seem larger. The students' desks are just standard wooden desks with a shelf underneath for books and wooden chairs with metal frames. Simple and efficient. Stop walking in front of the classroom and face the other students. They all look normal, like students in any other school, but then why would they be here? They're probably like me, and have something wrong with them, only it's just not immediately obvious. Then I notice that one of the girls seems to be missing the thumb of her right hand. It's a little jarring. Despite the natural tendency to listen when someone's talking about you, I tune out the teacher's speech halfway while he introduces me to the class. I notice a flash of dark hair and see that someone is looking at me. The girl with really long, straight hair that is pretty eye-catching. As she sees me looking back at her, she covers her face with her hands as if it will make her invisible. There's one boy with a cane leaning against the lockers at the class. It's weird seeing someone so young with a cane. Another girl seems to be some weird hand motions. Sign language? She peers at me over the rims of her glasses, then goes back to whatever she's doing. She's kind of cute. So is the cheery-looking girl with pink hair next to her. She's really hard to miss. I don't know how I didn't notice her at the moment I walked in. Please welcome our newest classmate. Suzanne, and so everyone else does, except one girl in the front row who has only one hand. I cringe a little, but hide it by bowing in thanks for the applause I did not deserve. Collective silence tells me that I should open my mouth now. So I'm Hisao Nakai. And after that, my hobbies are reading and soccer. I help to get along with almost everyone even though I'm a new student. That's so boring. It's exactly like every self-introduction ever. Should say something more exciting. I'm saying nothing and the teacher picks from there. Everyone seems to be satisfied with what little I said though. A few girls are whispering to each other, throwing glances at me. It could have gone worse. The teacher, as he drones on about getting along while letting my gaze sweep across the classroom. Everyone seems to be listening to him intently, and when he's done, they clap their hands again, which feels like a weird thing to do. The first row girl claps on this run with her one hand against her other wrist that ends in a bandaged stump. It makes me feel a little bad. We're going to be doing some group work today, so that'll give you a chance to talk with everyone. Is that okay with you? Yeah, that's fine with me. You can work with Hakamichi. She's the class representative. She can explain anything you might want to know. And who else would be able to do that better, right? I know. The teacher passes out that day's assignments. Announces that I'll be working in groups of 3. It hits me that I don't know who Hakamichi is. Slow. The teacher seemed to catch my helpless grin. Oh, right. Hakamichi is right there. Shizune Hakamichi. He calls out her name. The cute, bubbly-looking girl with bright pink hair and gold eyes waves her hand at me. I take a seat next to her by the window. I guess you're Hakamichi, right? It's nice to meet you. Huh? I'm caught off guard by that. It's nice to meet you too, but I'm not Hakamichi. I'm Misha. This is Hakamichi. Shi-chan. Giggling, Misha points to the girl next to her, the one I saw using sign language before. It looks like she's been staring at me this whole time. She nods once nonchalantly to show that she acknowledges my presence, but only barely. She has short yet carefully, neatly brushed hair, a pair of oval-shaped glasses balanced on the tip of a dainty nose, and dark blue eyes that seem to alternate every few seconds between analytical and slightly bored. It's nice to meet you. Except Misha, who smiles and makes a few quick gestures with her hands. Nods and makes a few gestures of her own. Certainly the teacher was messing with us, saying things you'll be able to talk to people, and who better to explain things to you. I can see you're a little confused, right? But I guess I understand why you would think I was Shi-chan. Shi-chan is deaf, so I'm the person who translates things back and forth for her. Like an interpreter, so she says it's nice to meet you too. You're the new student, aren't you? Shi-chan, of course he is. If he wasn't, he would have been up for no reason, right? He seems like a very interesting person, doesn't he? We knew there was going to be a new student, but we didn't know you would be here today. So soon, He-chan, right? He-chan? Fits, doesn't it? Did I say it loud? Surprise, I never like that nickname. I don't really see how... It fits, you look just like I imagined. Haha. Yeah, you look just like a He-chan. I wonder why everyone seems to think so. He taps her fingers on the desk to get Misha's attention. They gesture back and forth to each other excitingly, their hands a blur. Misha seems a little overwhelmed. Sorry about that. Shi-chan wants you to know that she's the class rep, so if there's anything you need to know, you can feel free to ask her. Do you like the school so far? We can show you around a little if you haven't had the time to walk around and familiarize yourself with it. Misha stumbles at the hard work a bit, making it stick out in an otherwise fluid translation. Thanks, that would be pretty helpful. Yeah, I just kinda came straight to class today. Haha. That's no good. You should always try to learn as much as you can about where you're going to before you get there, not just with school either. Anyway, if it's a trip to the convenience, even if it's a trip to the convenience store, really, Shi-chan? Haha. I guess I didn't bother to do that, or just didn't care enough to do so. Forwarded this, even if I committed myself to go along with it half-assedly, but anyway. I didn't say anything. Misha signed something that instead of a shrug. What was that? It seems like it was about me. I feel like slumping it over in my seat. Both of them are smiling. That shrug hit me unexpectedly deeply. You look down. Are you okay? Don't take it the wrong way, please. I hate it when people are afraid to ask questions. That's how people learn things, by asking. Asking for help is perfectly normal. As much as needing help, stop looking like you just failed the test. Alright. You don't have to call Shi-chan something so formal like Hakamichi or class rep all the time. Just call her Shi-chan. Maybe that's too casual. Maybe Shizune would be more appropriate. Yep, Shizune. Yeah, my gosh. Shizune is fine. Okay, that would be a lot easier for me. Feel a lot more at ease. Both of them seem so friendly, so I feel like an idiot for being so apprehensive earlier. Especially about Shizune, who I assumed would be all business. She seems like that, just less so, I guess. don't look at it like this. Alright, touch the assignment. We should start work now, or Shi-chan will get mad. The assignment is also kind of long. Should we just start now if we want to finish it before the end of class? That too. It glares at the two of us impatiently. I don't need to know sign language to understand that. Okay, I get the message. Take a walk around the grounds together. It's a nice day today, okay? Time is actually very challenging to get through, combining aspects of being both difficult and necessarily long. Still, we finished it a few minutes earlier than anyone else in the class despite our late start. Shizune and Misha are really capable. They're quite different, though. The class rep is as calm and professional as she looks, while Misha is a lot more playful and girlish. Not to mention a little more easily distracted. To be honest, the two of them did most of the work. I feel guilty about that. The clock tower bell rings, signaling the end of the period. Time for lunch. Without knowing what else to do, I follow Misha, who is beckoning me into the hallway and down the stairs. Then even below the lobby where I met Muto, down to the bottom floor. Just like everything in the school, the cafeteria seems too spacious and oddly modern and crass to its exterior. Its big windows open to the courtyard, towards the main gate. It's the cafeteria! Fuzak's statement of the obvious makes people around us stare, but Misha doesn't seem to care, so we proceed to the line. There's a rather long list of menu options, which seems great until I realize that many of them are to accommodate students who need special diets. How nice, it feels almost like I'm back at the hospital, eating portions measured with scientific precision to meet the needs of the patients. I pick something at random and follow Shizune to a table sitting opposite of her. As I nibble indifferently at the food I'd rather not eat, Misha pokes me the side to get my attention and points to Shizune. I don't understand signs, so the point escapes me. You're looking at a person who talks to you as proper and polite. Do you want to know something? What? Anything. It would be our guide, so you should ask. Oh, there is something. I wonder. Ask about the library. Is there a library in the school? Got into reading a lot, so I'd like to check it out. Kind of frown that makes it clear she doesn't consider reading a healthy hobby, but then picks her smile again. There is. It's in the second floor. We can show it to you sometime. Thanks. Talk between themselves. They go sign back and forth very animatedly, throwing sideways glances at me, but Misha refrains from translating. Maybe they're talking about secret girl stuff or something. Quickly notice a conversation and sign. It's not enough to fill a silence. Cluster really, but we're not the first. The dark-haired girl I noticed before is slumped over her desk at the last row. She jumps a little when Misha crashes her with the elegance of a rhino. She shrinks deeper to her seat. I can feel her tension all the way from here, as if she were slowly turning into stone just from our presence. Misha and Shizune don't notice or don't mind it, as they walk directly past her to their seats and begin to converse. I'm left wondering about her, when the classroom slowly fills with other students and finally the teacher. Getting into the rhythm of school feels strange. It's as if my brain remembers how this is done, but my body doesn't. Towards the end of the class, I started yawning and counting the minutes left. I shouldn't be this tired on my first day of school. Maybe it's the long time in the hospital that made me feel like this, even feeling physically weak and lifeless. The final bell rings. School is finally over for the day. Beside me, Misha and Shizune are having a short conversation. After a bit of deliberation, Misha turns to me. Fortunately, we can't stay and show you around today, Chan. Gotta hurry already, since there is a lot of work for us to do. Find your way around here, I'm sure of it. Wait, the teacher said I'd have to see the nurse. Where do I have to go? So we can at least show you that much. The nurses have their own building, so we have to go outside. The flow of students making their way down the stairway and outside with the girls pointing out other senior classrooms in the same hallway as ours. Oh, we gotta do an ad break. But then we'll go do that and then we're right back. So I see just a smidge. Okay, we're back. We get outside, the girls make their way to the smaller building right next to the school. Same style, so it looks like it's actually... It's built in the same style, so it looks like it's actually a part of the main building. This is the auxiliary building here. There's a lot of official important stuff inside, like the Yamaku Foundation office and all the nurses' offices. They even have a swimming pool. How is that official? Don't be silly, Hee-chan. It's for physical therapy, of course. Anyway, all the nursing facilities are here there too. Nurse's office is on the first floor. Fine from here, right? We'll be going then. See you tomorrow. Yeah, thanks. Bye. A whole building for stuff that has nothing to do with actual education? I guess it's necessary for a place like this. I walk in hoping that this really will be a quick visit like the teacher said. The white door on the left is a green cross with the text, Head Nurse, and a nameplate. A voice from the inside responds to my knock almost immediately, but I can't quite make it out. It sounds like an invitation to open the door, so I invite myself further in. Alright, and it smells strange. A friendly-looking man turns on his office chair to face his enter. His desk is neat and tidy, but the bin under the table is overflowing with used medical utensils, and there are at least a dozen coffee cup rings lingering on the desk. Hello there, what can I do for you today? It's young-looking and sort of rugged, but the dimples in his cheeks wash that impression away when it smiles. Are you the nurse? Sounds like a person who has heard this same question hundreds of times. Yes, I am. It says so on the door, no? Call me by my name or just the nurse like everyone else. Of course, I shake off my confusion and realize I probably should grab his extended arm. She gets rather firm and friendly. I'm a new student and my homeroom teacher told me to come and meet you. My name is Hisao Nakai. As well as revelation, he snaps his fingers. Oh, you're that Nakai. I just reading your file in the morning. Kind of chronic arrhythmia and related congenital heart muscle deficiency, right? Sit down in a vacant armchair in front of his desk. Yeah. Well, you've probably been briefed about the school enough, so I'll just go over this quickly. We have all kinds of facilities available, mostly physical therapy and such. There's always someone from my staff around even at night, so never hesitate to call us if there's a problem. Famous 24-hour nursing staff. It's like a hospital. Not exactly. For instance, we don't do brain surgery here. I feel so out of place that I'm left thinking why I even said it. It's really weird to have so many medical people at a school. You'll get used to it. But don't let the nurse know it. Let me find your file again. His computer and shuffles stacks of papers around. I let my gaze wander around the room. It's the epitome of generic, I'd like to say. Beige walls and ceiling, dark lit flooring, and all the equipment you'd expect from a school nurse's office. Even the ridiculous educational posters are hanging on all four walls, reminding me to eat properly 3 times a day and from all the food groups. The nurse draws a thick file from a stack of similarly thick files and opens it. So you already have medication for the arrhythmia, just remember to take your pills every morning and evening or it won't be much help. For that, do you do any sports? Rash stuff like, I don't know, boxing? He grins to his own joke, but I don't. Well, I played soccer occasionally with some classmates. Alright, I'm afraid I'm going to have to recommend you refrain from doing that, at least for the time being. My lack of reaction makes him raise an eyebrow. Really. I'm not too bothered by him forbidding me to kick a ball around. I guess I never did it out of burning passion for the sport, just to have something to do. Kind of concussion might be very dangerous to your heart, and risking another attack is not a good idea. Was the previous one caused by sudden concussion to the chest area? No mention of the cause in your papers. Not exactly. Acceptably, and he glances at me over his papers with a more serious expression on his face. Still, to keep your body healthy, so some exercise would do you good. We have physical therapy and as such available, as I said, but I don't really think you need such heavy measures. Just get some light exercise regularly. Brisk walks or even light jogging, jumping rope, that sort of thing. So, swimming, maybe? There's a pool here. So I was told. We're very good. At any rate, I'm sure you've been told this before, but you just need to take care not to overexert yourself. Flicks his finger to emphasize the point. No need, really. I've heard this 1,000 times already. No one has her risk. Take care of yourself. Folds up papers one more time and sets them on the desk, obviously content. So then, come meet me if you ever need something. Ushered out there before I even realize it. A quick visit indeed. Standing in front of the main building and the auxiliary building, although to my eyes they still look one and the same. It's the first real look I get at the other students, so I watch people coming out of the school, going towards the gate or the dorms. Everyone seems to know where they're going. And I still keep thinking that most of them don't look too special for being students at a special school. Then again, neither do I. Does that make me one of them? One of us? I should go somewhere too to prevent me from getting lost. It's around dinner time, but I feel tired instead of hungry. The weariness in me grows as I towards the drums, sit a little way apart from the main building complex. There's a garden of sorts between the school and the dorms, shrubbery, flowers, and that overbearing smell of fresh pressed cut grass that fills the atmosphere. So in my tired mind, the smell feels novel because I haven't been outside at all for so long. The dorm building is big and made of red brick like the others. It feels way too pompous for what it is, so I push forward going inside. When necessary to fish out the key I was given from my pocket. Room 119. Despite the ornate exterior, the inside of the dorm is fairly new, functional, and boring. There's Just like the main building, the halls and doors are wide to accommodate wheelchairs. The same goes for the elevators at the end of the hallways. I poke my head around the corner of the common room door. Inside, a few students are watching the television. One nods and gives a quick hello before turning back to the TV. Seems that only the girls around here are sociable. I suppose it's perfectly fine with me. I climb the stairs to the upper floor. Here, small corridors branch off from the main hallway. Each of these minor halls seems to have a toilet and shower as well as 4 rooms. About halfway down the hall, I spy room 119. The nameplates in the room are just a minor blank. I guess there are just 2 of us here. Shines to the door of room 117, so I knock slightly. Hello, is anyone home? Here a few minutes. Then the clicking of way more locks than I thought these doors had. After a moment, the door squeaks open. There's a respectable boy standing in the doorway. He's looking at me extremely intently through his extremely thick eyeglasses. Who is it? Blind? At least not completely. Why would he have eyeglasses if he was? You can tell her nose was touching. His breath stinks of garlic. Hisao Nakai. I'm moving into the next room. I thought I should introduce my friend's realization. He stands back upright, thrusting his hand out and smiling greeting, almost straight into my diaphragm. Oh, sup, dude. Name's Kenji. Hi. I take Kenji's sweaty hand and shake it, still a little rattled by the sudden change of his attitude and vehement welcome. There are some suspicious-looking people going in and out of your room earlier. It was probably my parents. Parents? Sure. They could have been some other people, too. You can't judge a book by its cover. His out-of-place proverb is left hanging between us awkwardly as I try to think of some way to respond. I'd say the chances are high enough. He shudders and makes some exaggerated hand gestures. You're a brave man, Hisao. Me, I don't think I could trust the chances. The one I trust is myself. Does that mean I shouldn't get you to know you either? It's about this for a while. A wise decision. Damn, you're smarter than you look. Probably. What do you like? I hope not smart. He squints his eyes and leans closer again, but I lean backwards to dodge it. It doesn't matter. He turns, fumbles around for a moment, search at the door handle, and shuts the door behind him. I slide the key into the lock of the door, marked 119. Bleak beige walls, white linen, a desk made of some type of light wood, ugly curtains. It's no one's room, impersonal, like my hospital room was. My bags are sitting at the foot of my bed, looking a lot emptier than they did this morning. The closet is sitting open, stocked with my clothes. It seems there are a number of school uniforms hanging there as well. A note is pinned to the sleeve of one of the shirts. Hi, Hichan, we've unpacked your things and made your bed. They said if these don't fit, then you should go to the office tomorrow. If you have any problems, you can always call us. Love, Mom and Dad. So I don't have to worry about unpacking. I kind of hoped I would have, then there would be something to do. Still too early. Put the note down on the desktop and lie down on the bed, feeling drained. Lying there makes me want to read something, but I have nothing with me. I wonder if the hospital conditioned me for wanting to read whenever I have nothing to do. The restless urge keeps me growing until I have to stand up. It's stress or something. I was pretty nervous about it before coming in for the entire day, too. I still am, I think. I have to distract myself somehow so I won't be this unnatural all the time. Tomorrow I'll go borrow some books from the library. Yeah, I'll do that. But for now, the models of medication neatly arranged on my night table catch my eye. I pick one up, shake it just to hear the contents rattle inside, and then read the glued-on pharmacy label. Hisao Nakai, 2 tablets daily to stay alive. Say that, but it could just as well. Kinda twisted having your life depend on chemicals like this. I resent it a little, but what choice do I have? Sigh, I begin my daily ritual of taking the right number of pills from each bottle, being careful to check the correct dosages. I lie down again, feeling hollow and uncertain, and after that I keep staring at the blank, unfamiliar ceiling for a long time. Start looking any more familiar, not even after darkness falls and long shadows draw across my room like fingers. The sheets feel slightly more comfortable, warm, and nest-like against the chill that passes for room temperature here. Soon, the light shade of darkness that is the ceiling looks like every ceiling does at night, and it becomes the only thing I recognize anymore. The night beckons me to sleep, and I feel the coldness of unfamiliarity and fear creeping up my spine once again. I creep drifting further away and from the world I knew. I wake up in a strange room. Morning light shimmers against the light gray ceiling. I have forgotten to draw the windows. The curtains closed last night. This is my room, isn't it? Room. This is the third room this year that I'm supposed to call mine. Various things around me remind me that indeed it's me who is supposed to be the one living here. My bag's on the floor, my new school books on the desk, my numerous medications on the night table. I stare at the bottles for a moment, deliberating until I open a bottle, shake out a pill, and pop out a tablet from a foil sheet. I down them with a chaser of water without thinking about the chemistry. My uniforms are in the closet. I slink out from under the sheets and stretch my back before dressing up. Putting on a new school uniform feels like dressing in someone else's clothes. The artificial smell of generic detergent invades my nose, but the feeling of fresh cloth against my back is a good one, a natural one. It feels like a school uniform, as it should. It's not much different from what I used to wear before. That goes for other things too. So far, this place seems more or less like a normal school. Except for the people. I think back to my talk with Kenji yesterday, Misha's constant laughter, and Shizune's sweeping sign language gestures. Well, I've only met 3 students so far. Maybe they aren't that normal, but I'm sure others are. Or perhaps people like them are what passes for normal around here. Yeah, what does pass for normal around here? What do people do? I didn't see a lot of kids hang around after classes yesterday, so maybe there are clubs. If so, I wonder if I should join one. All through class, this question remains in my mind, so I decide to ask Shizune about it when we split into groups. After all, she did say if I have anything I wanted to know, I should ask her. She crosses her arms and shifts her gaze slowly to Misha, who looks more preoccupied with trying to grind the eraser of her pencil down so that the top is perfectly and evenly flat. Sorry, Shi-chan. Is there something you want from me? Oh, I see. That's a good question, Hi-chan. First thought is that means she doesn't know what she's wearing. Maybe I'm being too negative. Misha, please don't prove me right. Oh, that's right. Everyone has courage to join a club. A lot of people do so because there isn't really anything else to do. There are also school events like the festival coming up in a few days. Almost every student in the school tends to help out with it, doing whatever. Transferred in at a busy time. You can help out too. Sure. What's the festival about? Misha freezes. I don't know. John, the truth is it's a local event and I'm not from this area, so... He starts signing desperately to Shizune, asking her to bail her out. Shizune adjusts her glasses at the end of an oddly grandiose flourish and starts signing hard and happy. Huh? Oh. Who cares? What's up, Jeff, as she shouts Shizune's word out me with a disproportionate amount of pride. Too loud, I can see heads turning in our direction. Not so loud. Human beings evolve with each new generation. The ideals and beliefs behind a festival will inevitably change with time. Now it's about delicious fried food and using little games that you play to win prizes. Haha. The teacher clears his throat very loudly, batting his long wooden pointer against his other palm like a baton. He shoots a pointed gaze at us, finally noticing where we are. Misha starts a yelp and quickly quiets down. Shizune doesn't seem embarrassed at all, though, brushing it off without a care. Middle of class. Yes, and we should start working. That's right, Chi-chan. What? That's right. Hichan, are you asking because you're interested in joining a club? Into my eyes, pictures me. I think I saw a suspicious glance exchange between them. Misha's tone has also changed, though it does that every other word anyway. Yeah, I was thinking about it. Misha and Shizune look at each other, about to ask what they have in mind when something dark flutters in my peripheral vision, catching my attention. Out of the corner of my eye, I see the girl with long, dark hair get up from her desk and suddenly slip silently towards the door. It doesn't seem like she was working in any group, and no one seems to notice her but me. I glance at the teacher, who is also looking at the dark-haired girl go. Why doesn't he say anything? Is something wrong? Do I look as uneasy as I feel? Or is Misa just looking at me looking after the girl who left? No, nothing. Well, like you're asking, you don't have any plans for lunch today, do you? Thought I would go to the library and pick up some books. Really? Lunch together then? Sure. Wow, okay, John, perfect. Suddenly, the girl with the long hair never came back. Before I have time to put any more thought into it where she could have gone, the teacher informs us that it's time to stop working. It's more than a little annoyed that we only just managed to finish all our work on time. I'm just glad we finished it all. It's not a contest or anything. Yes, it is, Hichan. Impossible. Really? Really. But it's kind of funny how Misha is always moving her hands and signing not only everything she says, but what anyone else is saying at any given time. Obviously, it must be so Shizuna can understand it. Her eyes dart back and forth between Misha's hands and me. I don't know who I'm supposed to be looking at. I'm talking to Misha, but that might be wrong. Maybe I should face Shizune. I'm used to looking in the direction of the person whose voice I'm hearing, but really, Shizune can't hear me, but it would be disrespectful to talk to her only through Misha. But again, isn't that what she's doing? No, she's at least looking at me. This is all very confusing and will take some time to get used to. It's not a contest, because contests are competitions over a prize. If there's no prize on the line, it's not really a contest. His eyes flash dangerously with a competitive glare. She stares at me as if surprised that I'm challenging her. I think maybe this is a contest to her. So, I've never noticed before how dark and blue her eyes are. It's truly an alluring gaze. Sure, Hichan? Very sure. You're wrong, Hichan, because I don't want to be the slowest one in the class. Therefore, what's on the line is my confidence in my abilities, and the prize is the satisfaction of proving them. Ha! Shino pushes her glasses up on the bridge of her nose in a very matter-of-fact way. I'd argue more, but the bells ring, and she quickly gets up and picks up her bag, looking at me expectantly. I'd almost forgotten that I was supposed to have lunch with them. You want to eat? The cafeteria? So plain. Okay, let's go. Plain? Well, I guess. In middle school, I liked to eat outside, near the back of the building. It was a good spot. But I didn't find it out until the end of my freshman year. I don't know if there's a similar place to eat here. Misha seems to imply as much. And Misha pulled me towards the cafeteria, which is surprisingly not packed. Maybe some other students favor eating in classroom or outdoors. I saw some of my classmates had boxed lunches. Finish eating, Misha picks up where we left off earlier. You know about clubs and stuff, right? Right, Chichen. Okay, guess it makes sense to ask first. Nods of confirmation. They turn to face me again, and Misha straightens her posture as if she's about to deliver a speech. Chan, do you have anything you're really interested in? I used to play soccer, but I'm not really into it. I don't follow the teams and players or anything like that. Late, I usually just read a lot. There is a book club, right, Chi-chan? But you smell like they have all the members they can possibly have right now. Sorry, Chi-chan, it's a really popular club. Wait. More to the point, Hichan, does this mean that you don't have anything already in mind? Not really. Good, great, that's great, Hichan, really great, haha. Why is it so great? No reason. Hichan, than clubs in the upcoming festival, there is one other thing. Student council. I didn't know this school had a student council. It was a very melodramatic setup, though just to tell me that. She'll then know this because Shizune looks a little embarrassed about it and Misha is laughing. Yune quickly retakes control of the discussion in a manner of speaking, while it's still Misha who has to voice whatever she says. Right, Hichan, maybe you should join the student council. They could use more people. You should definitely join. Why? Well, we could hang out every day. Shichan and I are both in student council. See, Shichan is the president. Suspicion that Shizune and Misha might not exactly be the most unbiased people to talk about this with. Shizune quickly adjusts her glasses and signs something to Misha. Of course, we're not trying to get you to join just because we've been from you joining the student council and therefore have an incentive to try and get you to. So you're admitting that. No, we admit nothing. I mean, Hichan, of course, it would be nice if you joined. We'd appreciate it. But all that, join the student council shows a healthy interest in the working of one's school. It's true, Hichan. Besides, don't you want to spend time with us after school, Hichan? I can't tell if she's being genuine or if it's really good acting. Both of them seem to be trying their hard to look their cutest, although they are already pretty cute to begin with. Well, settled then. Welcome to the student council, Hichan. What? No. Of course, it goes so easily. That's right, though. It'd be boring if it went that smooth. Oh well, Shichan owes me candy now. If you were betting on it? My life is not a game here. She's very intrigued by this when Misha signs it to her. The aggressive glint returns to her eyes. Interesting, Hichan. Let's play a game. That's not what I said. But rich man, poor man, Hichan. If you lose, you have to join the student council. No, absolutely not. Why not? Because you two both have the same incentive and therefore the same goal, which is to get me to join the student council, right? Yep. Yeah, that isn't my goal, but this means that the both of you can team up and I'll be at a clear disadvantage, so I'll have to decline. Very offended. Are you saying you don't trust us, that we pull something so disingenuous? That makes me sad. Sorry. It's hard to tell where Shizune's influence ends and Misha's thoughts begin. Or to return for hurting young girls' feelings, you should definitely join the student council. No. Game of paper football instead of Richmond Poor Men. Paper football. The game they play in America. You make a paper triangle and then you try to shoot it past goalposts that their player makes with their fingers. It's cool. It's the ultimate form of competition between two people, Hichan. And it's also played by elementary and middle school children, Hichan. It's a game that really separates the boys from the men. More like the boys from the slightly older boys. Anyway, I'm not going to play that either. Just the fact that you know about it means you're probably surprisingly good at it. Yeah, that's true. How did you know, Hichan? She frowns at Misha, telling me that she probably supposed to admit that so readily. I wouldn't say that I'm happy with their attempts to get me into the student council, but I'm a little curious about what the student council does here. I've never been on it before, or even known anybody who was a member, so it interests me. I also kind of like Shizune and Misha, so maybe it wouldn't be so bad. How about Risk, the game of world domination? I don't know what that is. Fine, you should fight for control of the world with armies and everything. Sounds like Shizune would be good at it. If you want to play, we can after school. You can play just for fun. Shichan hasn't played in a long time, so there are no strings attached. Well, okay. See you after school in the student council room, then, Hichan. Wait, why there? Because that's where you keep the game. I grimace to tell them how much I do not like this, but it's more for show than anything. So Lee and I agree, but only after getting Shizune to acknowledge that I don't mean anything concrete just by accepting to take a look around and play a game with her. Lunch ends and we go back to class. Afternoon class, the long-haired girl comes back and sits down in her seat without a word. Again, no one seems to notice, or if they do, no one says anything. I want to ask Misha about it, but I don't want to be nosy. School. Shizune and Misha quickly find me by the first floor lobby and latch onto me, covering each flank in case I might try to escape. A little offended, but I've been considering it. Nevertheless, I'm a bit disturbed that enough people have made a break for it in the past that they're on guard. What's with the escort? This doesn't make me feel very comfortable. fact, it makes me feel like a dangerous prisoner being transported to a cell. What's wrong, Hee-chan? That's right, we're just going to play a game of Risk, remember? I don't know, Misha. This all seems a little sinister to me. I started thinking that when we sit down to play the game, they'll tie me down and torture me until I agree to join the student council. That's highly unlikely, but still, for some reason, it just seems like it would be so plausible. Student runs as simple as turning 2 corners from where we started. That's it. This makes you guys being so on top of me seem a little silly. It's not true, Hee-chan. Shi-chan says that when their life is threatened, people have shown the capability to pull off superhuman bursts of speed. Life is threatened. Her expression unchanging, Misha signs something amusingly to Shizune, who makes a baffling face and puts her hands behind her back, looking pleased with herself. Misha feigns deafness and hums cheerily. Stop that. I know you heard me. You have no excuse, unlike Shizune. Shizune opens the door to the council room. It's a very plain, sparsely decorated room, though it is quite large, maybe even a little larger than a classroom. It's a big table in the center, surrounded by chairs, and a smaller desk prominently placed in the back that I assume is Shizune's. There are a few regular desks and chairs stacked to one side as well. Extras, perhaps? Aside from the tables and chairs, the room doesn't have much else to offer. Just a couple of filing cabinets and bookshelves stacked with old-school records and documents. Not much else, in fact, nothing else. This is a pretty bleak room. They could at least put a potted plant in here or something. But the most noticeable thing that this room doesn't have is other people. Are we early? No. What do you mean no? Does it mean nobody else is coming today? Yep, that's right. Why that's the case, Shizune clasped her hands together very energetically. Let's play Risk. Come on, you promised, didn't you? You have to. Okay. Want to know the rules? We can explain to you while we set everything up. Misha is talking. Shizune takes out what looks like a board game from behind one of the filing cabinets and throws it on the table. Actually, this looks kind of interesting. After Misha spends a little too long for her liking running through the basics with a somewhat vague and confusing tutorial, Shizune cuts in and declares the game has been served with a decisive motion, slicing her arm through the air. Shizune's aggressiveness is rubbing off onto me. I start feeling more competitive than I intended to be when I agreed to this. Halfway into the game, while I try to ponder how to defend against Shizune's assault from 2 fronts, she breaks my concentration by drumming her fingers on the table to get my attention. Chi-chan wants to know that you're taking too long to make a move. Chi-chan also says she will let you keep Australia if you agree to join the student council. I thought this was a game with no strings attached. Just the fact she would dangle that over my head as an offer means that she knows I care about the outcome of this game. And anyway, no. Chi-chan admires your fighting spirit and would be a benevolent dictator who will spare your people if you agree to join the student council. Haha. You're so competitive, Shizune. Take this as a compliment. Would expect the student council president to be a little more magnanimous. Magnanimous? These are at signs, so she pulls out a piece of paper and writes it for Shizune, who in return signs it back to Mizune. Misha presses her index finger against her temples as if trying to physically imprint the word into her memory. Suddenly, Shizune bursts into a flurry of gestures. Misha looks daunted by the pace of her heated signing. Wait, please slow down, Chan. Shi-chan says you're going to lose. Tell her I will crush her world empire with my rebellion. Okay. Those eyes of hers shine with childlike mischief. She says you have no chance if you keep playing like this. No, you won't. Play defensively or play aggressively? So is she trying to trick us into... Is So is this a trick to make us play more So is this a trap to make us play more aggressively? Or is that because that's what she that's what she would believe that would make us do that? Okay, I think it's maybe a trap to make us play defensively. As a way of getting us to play defensively, because they'd be like, oh no, that means that she wants us to play aggressively. And in fact, she wants us to play defensively. Which means we will play aggressively. She's either really mocking me or trying to trick me. Also, might as well try something different. Spread out my force to try to control more territories. I could recoup the advantage. So maybe I can sacrifice my hold on continents to gain more small countries. It's worth a shot. A few turns later, I end up losing the game anyway. We pump a fist in the air in celebration. I win! Yay! So need to translate that. It was pretty clear. Don't look so sad, Hee-chan. Really giving it your best, that's what I thought. Sometimes your best just isn't good enough. Though, if anyone knows that, it's me. You did very well for someone who just learned how to play today. You attacked Iceland, North America at the same time. That's a very daring move. Hee-chan is impressed. The mark of great people is they're daring and that they can follow through. You're already halfway there, isn't that great, Hee-chan? Isn't enough, though. Just potential isn't enough. There's no point to potential if you don't take the first step, and there's no point to that if you don't keep going. I want to see more. Right, Hee-chan, but that's so demanding. Tora, suddenly looking a lot less playful and more like the serious person expected her from the start. Do you like to join the student council? She really doesn't waste any time, does she? But it's only my second day of school, so I'm hesitant about committing to something so early. I haven't even taken a look at clubs yet. Shizumisa doesn't seem like something I would hate. I still need more time to think about it before I decide for sure. Maybe. I'll get back to you on it. But I hope you're not saying that so we don't feel bad. No, really. Say that. You're saying that there's definitely the truth and there can't be any mistaking it. I know. I guess I should have my revenge for losing at the very least. Smiles at that in a mischievous way that feels like twisting the knife in the wound of my loss. I glance at the clock and the moment realize I spent far longer playing Risk than I expected. I wanted to go to the library. It's not closed yet, is it? Determine whether the library is open. There's a clock right there on the wall. It should be unless the librarian is absent. I think you're right, Hee-chan. It's open. It's on the second floor. You can't miss it. Do you want us to show you where it is? No thanks. It's okay. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Problems. The second floor hallway is a carbon copy of the third floor one. Wide, of course, and plain like only hallways can be. The problem that the library's whereabouts are not as easily determined as one would think. Classrooms are marked with signs stating which class they belong to, but then there's a plethora of other unmarked rooms. Is the library in one of them, or is it just somewhere down the hallway? I bet on the latter and choose my direction at random. Or an unmarked door draws my attention because it's not closed. It's not open though either. It's just barely dark, so I can see it's open and nothing else. It would make sense for the library door to be invitingly open, and while this one is not quite that, it's good enough. Seems that inside and I can ask for directions no matter how embarrassing that is. Center of the door with my fingertips, every muscle in my arm ready to pull back at a moment's notice. The feeling of being an outsider to the school can't be shaken from my mind so much so that I instinctively fear doing something wrong by entering. Hey, welcome in, Iron Napoleon. Oh, and congratulations on the 5 stream streak. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I'm doing well. I hope you are doing well. The door slowly creaks as groaning from a deep sleep that was much easier to open than I had expected. Leaning over and poking my head over further inside to gain sight of the room as fast as possible, the meek hello over my lips is quickly snatched away. This is not what I was expecting. I mindlessly let the door open to its full extent, taking in the sight of the solitary figures center stage in the otherwise abandoned room. No problem, I'm missing like 1 or 2 streams to sell my streams. No, I mean, able to do a 5 stream is still very impressive. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. The situation steals my voice, leaving me stand at the doorway staring at the beautiful girl. Evidently haven't taken her time to assess the situation. The girl gently puts down her teacup and opens her eyes, but doesn't look at me. Hello there. May I help you? In front of herself, the movement of her lips seemed to break the silence rather than the words. However, it's the soft, measured voice that reminds me she's being separate from the room itself. Not only is she likely the tallest girl I've ever laid eyes on, but even among the foreigners I've met, she's strikingly distinct. Sorry for interrupting. I was just kind of lost. She takes a moment to reflect a response before speaking. Every reaction she takes feels as if it's carefully choreographed beforehand. Care to take a seat? Unexpected, considering that I'm intruding upon her. Thanks. Others opposite her, the girl resting the teacup and saucer on the wooden table in between. The way she doesn't track my movements with her head is telling. That, and the slight cloudiness to her eyes, means she must be at least partially blind like Kenji. Come to think of it, her voice doesn't have any detectable accent either. I guess she must be half Japanese. As I take my seat, her composure takes me slightly off guard. Her air of relaxed confidence makes the silence entirely comfortable. The calming atmosphere is so different from the student council office. I take it you're a new student to Yamaku. Yeah, I just transferred in yesterday. I get the distinct feeling my speech pattern doesn't match the formality of hers, accentuated by a restrained bow of greeting. One which I hasten to match before realizing the futility of the action. I'm Lilly Satao. Pleased to meet you. Hisao Nakai. She gives a nod before gesturing roughly in the direction of her teacup. Would you care for a drink? Sure. As much as it pains me, I can't keep step with her formality in the proceedings. She gives a kind nod, taking the request in stride. Where she steps off the chair and prepares a second cup of tea from a collection of supplies laid out along a shelf. A brush here, a brush there, her left hand often lightly touching the side of whichever container she's poured into. Seems to be a process she's followed dozens of times before. As I lean sideways to see around her back, she seems to use her long, dainty fingers to measure the right amount of water in the cup. It's one thing to see the different disabilities the students in my class have, but it's quite another to see how everyone seems to adapt. Shizune and Misha have no problem working together to communicate to me, and Lilly herself seems to have workarounds for problems I'd never thought of. While I feel slightly guilty about her doing the work, she seems pleased to be following the correct process of the offer preparing the drink. So, her soft voice brings me out of my silent observance. Which room were you looking for? It's not often this classroom is visited after school. The school library, Shizune and some classmates told me it was on this floor. She finishes pouring the water in the teacup as she nods. Small metallic tapping coming from the teacup indicated being stirred. I'm aware of Miss Hakamichi, as are most students. To be with them means you're in class 3-3, no? That's right. In the science room with Muto. She gives a small giggle before setting down the teaspoon and slowly walking toward the table, teacup and saucer in hand. He's quite a character. I imagine you'll come to like him. Most do. She sets down the tea. I take it and have a sip. I'm more of a coffee person, but this seems like a rather bad moment to bring it up. Nevertheless, the smell's quite nice. I hardly think it'd be hard to choke down. Thanks, Satao. It tastes really nice. She smiles and quickly waves her hand in front of her face. Lilly, please, there's no need to be too formal. She says this in spite of her exceedingly well-bred speech. I guess I should try and ask her about herself, as it really does seem as if she's catering to me. So, which class are you from? I imagine it's one of the third-year classes. Correct. I'm in class 3-2, which is on the third floor, same as yours. It's taught by Miyagi, and specifically for both blind and partially blind students. I see. Sorry. I like slapping myself for the faux pas. In her face, though, she doesn't seem in the least bit put off by it. My, there's no need to change your speech on my account. Sorry, I guess I'm really showing my newness here. Farmite like this would be a big change, so I can't fault you for it. While the same can't be said for everyone, many have come to terms with their conditions. A category which would include her, it seems. All too ready to jump ship from this particular topic, I segue into another. Do you come here to drink tea often? It's a rather nice place. Thinking on it, this might be your vision of the place behind my school that I like to have lunch at. I come here fairly often during lunchtimes. My duties as class representative don't have for an official club, so a friend and I use this room for having tea. Class representative, huh? Compared to Shizune, her mannerisms seem to be almost completely opposite. While Shizune is blunt and fiercely driven, Lilly seems relaxed and calm, almost aloof. Come to think of it, she might be useful for a less biased view of the school's clubs. What kind of clubs are there to join? The more popular ones are the Track and Field Club, which uses the field near the lunchtimes, the baseball club, and the book club in a room near the library. There are also numerous small ones, though, such as the art and music clubs. A time when I'm just wanting to get on my feet, rushing into a club right away seems slightly unappealing. I wonder if this school shares the same rule as my old one. Is it compulsory to join a club? It isn't, though it is encouraged. That's a relief. Oh my god, on this girl does such a thing slip up, but the fact seems to slightly amuse her. Wanting my tea to get cold, I finally start drinking it as Lilly does the same. I notice the light coming in the room has a distinctly orange tint. Even here, time doesn't stand still. Time's gone quickly. Sorry? Of course you can't see the sun setting. It just looks like the sun's starting to set. It seems to almost a surprise for her. I guess she must have lost track of the time. Sorry, Sal. Need to keep you from the library so long. To allay her concern. No, it's okay. The library's still open, isn't it? She pauses and takes a moment to think on it. It's probably something I should have asked Shizune when I had the chance. Lilly seems to know in any case. True. It's open until 6:30 during weekdays. A quick glance at my watch confirms I have well enough time to get there. I might get going in that case. It's been nice talking to you, Lilly. She smiles and gives a deep nod, her hands still neatly folded on the table in front of her. It was my pleasure. Come to think of it, shall I show you to where the library is? It's for more help, but I should be able to find it all right. My navigational skills fail me. They seem to have a habit of doing. It's alright, I was going to be talking to the library in there in any case. I could introduce you. Better and better, it's pretty hard to deny our offer. If sure, then that'd be great, thanks. Follow me. She takes hold of a straight, retractable cane that had been slipped in the handle of her bag on the floor. Compared to the cane the boy in my class had, Lily's looks much thinner and longer. His must be for support, while Lily's is for navigation. Together we leave the peaceful room and enter the empty hallway on the way to the library. Side by side, my pace carefully slowed to match hers. We slowly walk through the hallway. It doesn't take long for us to arrive at the door to the warm-looking room, apparently situated in the center of the floor rather than either wing. Ladies first. She gives an appreciative smile at the gesture, taking the lead as we file in. To the left is the wooden library counter, with the library proper being on the right. It easily dwarfs my old school's library, with a distinct smell of old books giving the place an almost old-world air. There don't seem to be a lot of students here. Considering the time, it isn't a big surprise. Everyone's either in the school grounds or the dorms. Yuko, are you here? Into the thin air, since the library doesn't seem to be present. Of course, Lilly can't see this. What's unexpected is that it draws a reaction. Something from under the counter thuds against it, followed by a quiet wail. Ah. The origin, apparently the librarian, quickly crawls out and bounces up to extremely rigid attention. Hi, Lilly, how can I help you? Her voice is strained in a failing attempt to sound casual, and she's rubbing the back of her head. Good afternoon, what just happened now? I heard a strange sound. It's nothing, I just hit my head. See, I dropped an eraser on my desk, and while I was looking for it, a pencil dropped, and I was looking until you came and surprised me. All right, I'm sorry, I couldn't know. It's okay, sorry for making you worry. It's nothing, I've had worse happen to me. She's quick to reverse Lily's apology, whilst frantically trying to push aside the possibility that she might be inconvenienced by bashing her head on the counter. Yeah, worse things have happened, The girl fidgets with her fingers as Lilly doesn't seem her concerned expression, and then she shuffles some papers around the counter for no reason. And Lilly, replete with glasses, freckles, and a very troubled look, she seems to fit a library perfectly. Lilly, did you get my message? Message, Oh, the 2 important books that arrived? Right, they finally came. I can't believe it took so long, but... Rations, partially for managing to change the topic, I'm sure. She notices me from the corner of her eye and freezes in the spot when she does. Oh, I'm sorry for not noticing you before. Check out a book or return one? I'm sorry. She can switch swiftly between moods. It's a little unsettling. He's with me, Yuko. This is Hisao, a new student. Hisao, this is Yuko, school librarian. Pleased to meet you. So, right. Hisao, pleased to meet you. Pleased to meet you too, Hisao. Second, she visibly intends to engrave the name on her mind so she won't forget. Yuke often arranges to import foreign books in Braille for me. Would you like to tell Hisao a little something about the library? Suggestion is with an expression of abject terror. I don't know what he could be interested in. This is too much responsibility. That's any responsibility at all I don't get. Her objection is so sincere, I don't doubt for a second that she would rather disembowel herself on the spot than tell me where the light novels are. So, there are a lot of books in Braille here? That's the thing that pops in my head. Seems to work at least partially, as Yuko seems to not exactly relax, but at least look slightly less tense. Well, I think about a third or fourth of Yamku's library is either in Braille or audio. Makes sense given all the blind students that be here. If it's only that, how come the library is so big in the first place? Well, we get a lot of new books really because the library is adequately endowed. That's probably why. They spend more on new books than on my salary, and then I have to organize and shelve all them. It's so trouble and they weigh so much. I wish I could quit this job. A very awkward silence follows this revelation of too much information. I'll go check the owls then, if you don't mind. As for all of this, you didn't keep talking to me. Meanwhile, Yuko, I would have those books if it's alright with you. That's right, the library is surprisingly big. Laying down there as I studied the spines of the books in a random order, occasionally sliding one out to read the blurb, taking it with me if it looks good. So I have a respectable stack of books in my arms. I guess I'll never be stuck for choice in here. The normality of the library sinks in. Sure, there are large print and Braille books scattered throughout, but it is what it is, a library. As if the calm mood from the room I had tea with oh my gosh, as if the calm mood from the room I had tea with Lilly and snuck with us in here, unless it was here to begin with. Something about that puts me at ease, just like before. I reach the end of the aisle and find a collection of desks set up for study or personal reading. Going a little further, though, I discover a nice, quiet corner at the back. While the rest of the library is the odd student sitting at desk, either reading or stealthily sleeping, the back is pretty much deserted. As I glance around, I see someone who I recognize sitting on one of the several beanbags. It's the dark-haired girl from my class, the one who snuck out of the classroom earlier. She's reading a book, keeping it close to her face, which makes her look like she's really into it. The way she's acting today, I had her pegged as more of a delinquent than a bookworm. In fact, her mysterious disappearance from the class raises all sorts of whys in my head. Intrigue floats surely but surely towards the surface, and before I know it, I'm walking towards the mysterious long-haired girl. I guess there's no harm in introducing myself as I would with anyone else. She's a classmate, after all. Walking over to another beanbag, I take a seat and lay my books beside it. She starts looking scaredly up at me from beneath her fringe. It's the first time I've seen her up close. Underneath her long, dense bangs, I can see that part of her face, at least a third, if not half, is pretty badly scarred. Her eyes are immediately drawn to the scars, subconsciously peeking past her hair until they meet her own eyes. Shock and divert the book in her hands before I realize that looking away probably only makes it worse. Someone right when I walked up to her. Yeah, we're in the same class. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to startle you. Here, I'm Visona Kai. We're in the same class. Maybe you don't remember? Did a self-introduction too. Simply stares at me wide-eyed. This place, so I'm trying to meet as many people as I can. What's your name? Hanako. Stuttered, so quiet that it's barely audible even in the still library. Somehow I think that my delinquent impression of her was wrong. Hanako, eh? What are you reading? Tips the book backwards so I can read the title at the same time, hiding her face behind it. She must have noticed me staring before. Life of Pi? I've never heard of it before. What's it about? A boy and a tiger. On a boat. I can see this is taking some time. Sounds interesting. Is it any good? She nods from behind the book but stays silent. Kinda tense, a bit like Yuko earlier, but in a different way. More like petrified in terror, I'd say. So the delinquent girl turned me anything but and is quivering in a way that makes it look like she is mortally afraid of me. The only way out of this, as far as I can tell, is to try to get a normal conversation going. Is it a library book? I'm looking for new ones to read, but there's just so many. No, it's mine. Oh, so do you come here often? A huge blush spreads on his face and her eyes widen far larger than I thought it was possible for eyes to. Did she interpret my lame attempt at small talk as a feeble attempt to pick her up? I mean, I didn't mean it like that. I've got to do something. That warning, it takes off and runs toward the counter. Her hair-like takeoff catches me so off guard that I don't manage to go after her until she has a good start. At the counter, she is nowhere to be seen. Lilly and Yuko are happily chatting away. Knowing that I won't be able to catch Hanako myself, I approach the girls. Hey, did you see or notice a girl run past here? Maybe. What did she look like? Long dark hair, kind of shy. She had, well, some scars on her face. You wouldn't be talking about Hanako, would you? Sir, I saw her reading her and tried to talk to her, but I think I scared her off or something. Oh dear. Would you excuse me? I'd better try and find her. Sure, I'll just hold these until you come back. What's going on? I'm sorry, but I'll have to explain it to you some other time. Right, I'll see you later then. Lily hastily grabs her cane and hurries out of the library, leaving me alone with Yuko. Oh, we gotta do ad break. So we're gonna do that, and then we're right back. Okay, we're back. I don't think I'll ever get the hang of this place. Did I do something wrong? What did you do? just talked to her. Tried to get to know her. Didn't even manage to get started. What bothered you more than just wrong much as tactless. That girl is a bit of a special case. Like she's never really talked to anyone. Strange. Just how she is, I think. Again, maybe this is just the norm around here. Or else they wouldn't be here. It's being a little tactless after all. But how should I deal with these people? Force myself to act overly casual. Feel phony. I was supposed to be ignoring the elephant in the room. She wants to say something, but resists it. I think it's an elephant only if you feel that way. I guess she doesn't have a good sense of self-restraint. She's small and she blushes heavily. Did that sound stupid? No, it sounded really wise. I guess you're right. It's more about me than anyone else. So Yuko fills the silence by shuffling some papers around. Who have papers on their desk really like doing that. It should be closing, Zoo. I mean, this library should be closing. But I have to do it. I hope that's not convenient for you. Yeah, some books, but I left them over because I'll just go get them. And now we're sitting and return the counter. A lot, don't you? Surprise myself with that too, honestly. At least when I really think about it. I had a lot of free time while it's here, so I just kind of started reading books to fill that time. I couldn't do much else. See, she doesn't say anything else and just checks my books for me. I guess this is what they call tact. It's one arm. I trail in my pocket for the key to the door. That was me. Nearly dropped the books I'm carrying, the key that I managed almost into the lock. That's it. So he's telling me it's Kenji. He seems to be in a friendly mood, although the light glistening off his glasses in the dark gives him a sinister look. It's just me. This makes him pause and lick his lips nervously. Who is me? I don't know anyone called me. Are you some new guy again? His voice is only strained and quick. But we met before, yesterday. I remember someone who only met yesterday. When was that? What day is it today? Is he joking or what? Prove that we met before. You live across the hall. You're Kenji. In fact, his eyes filled with uncomprehending fear. How do you know my name? Damn. It can only mean one or two things. Either we have met, and you are telling the truth, or I just can't remember it, and you're a spy. This psychic spy. He's around me, trying to peer into my room. Although it's hard to believe he can see anything through those thick glasses. The moon swung from friendly to manic in less than a minute. I'm not psychic. Know that. I'm not a mind reader. He points a finger in my face damningly. Unlike you. Stop that, man. We met yesterday. What's wrong with you? I live in this room. Lies. Do you think you can pass as a cell because I'm legally blind? You are sorely mistaken. You don't even look like him. I mean, the semblance is real slim, maybe at distance, but who do you think you're kidding? Shake him. Exasperated, I rubbed my eyes and let out a heavy sigh. Stay here. Say lest he assault me physically, though I doubt he could do much damage if he did. Oh wait, I see it now. Damn, it really is you. Sighing again, and then once again for good measure, I step backwards just in case. Wait, hold on. I want to go back. Can I make... Dagnabbit. No. Just had something stupid at me. A few stupid things. Actually, even need to count this one. Can't get a proper touch on other people. No idea if it's just because of me or because of them. Well, I'm telling you, it's Kenji. Not like we've had any contact either. Dude, yeah, I'm sorry about telling you psychic spy and all that, but you can never be too careful. It's the hard reality we live in. Slowly starting to think that Kenji isn't necessarily living in the same reality as the rest of us. See, this is how it is in the big world. There's no justice. You see, even when I lose, I win. Because I don't lose the lesson. What does that even mean? It doesn't matter. Oh, wave his hand. Face, do you have a long face? Something. Just scared some girl off accidentally, literally too. She actually ran away from me. My fault, really. I'm not really used to all this yet. Girl, a cute one? She had a nice body and really beautiful hair, but the face... Go either way. Yeah, cute, I guess. I knew it. Girls. Strangely, just spoiling him out. I believe this is one of the dark secrets of this school. I tried to warn you, man, but did you listen? I don't remember any such warning. Dark secrets? Dark secrets. Extremely dark, like a black hole. If you notice, the number of girls in this school is slightly but significantly higher than the number of boys. It's like 60-40. As the left and stares off into the distance at nothing. Why is it like this? Into the third eye, it doesn't appear to be that bad. But that is a full 20%. School's such a huge pool of women would be a man's dream, but no. Just blow your mind. Are you ready? I know where this is going, but I won't be missing much by cutting out now. No, I'm not ready. Get as far as the doorknob before Kenji starts talking and shout, knowing that he doesn't really care if my mind is blown or not. I believe this school is a battleground, the site of a feminist infiltration. This disparity is the number of men to women is a clear sign of how far they have come. In case this Cold War turns hot, they will have superiority numbers. Just another skirmish in the eternal war against the force of the feminists. They're everywhere. In Japan, women outnumber men. It's not a 60-40 split, but it's only a matter of time, man. Even in America, women are the majority by a hair. They're building up their numbers. In the past, the buildup of military has always been the clearest sign of imminent war. Japan's the first step. Economy is badass, and the country itself is small and isolated. They did a huge part of the Pacific in terms of political value. Perfect target. They're so cunning, as expected of women. Soon the day will come when... Kenji's voice trails off ominously. But you can't trust him. They'll string you along and then kill you. Just as they killed me, they'll end up just like me. Oh, hell no. Blurting it out. The hell does that mean? You said it, not me. It's the best I can think of. You're not supposed to say something like that. Don't be so damn rude. Where was I? Oh yeah, fast baskets. Stop it. Stop it. I lost you. You way back there somewhere around the feminist infiltration. Frodo, it's cool. I have some graphs and stuff in my room. And puppets. You like puppets? No puppets. Do you not like puppets? Okay, graphs are still cool, though, right? Oh, gosh. Okay, you could tell this was like... Someone was like... birthed by... people that was like... that are savvy around message boards and especially 4chan because just... They were taking notes when they were writing. They were based off of experts who were writing Kenji, our man Kenji here. Seriously. Really, Norman, what's clear that I was wrong in your mind, dude? Just thinking about what it's like to be the last sane man in an insane world. Kenji frowns, looking deeply upset. That's you? That can't be, because I'm the last sane man in an insane world. That's my dream. You can't just steal a man's dream. What the hell? There can't be two last sane men. It would invalidate the whole last part, and that part is kind of important. There can be only one, like in that forum movie where there could be only one, and in the end there's only one dude left, because that was the point. I have never seen someone talk so heatedly and so defensively about absolutely nothing before. Wait, I can get my graphs. Also have a list of other dark and complex conspiracies that this school holds as tangled as... Wait, finish my analogy for me. Be a pal. I'm going to bed now. It's extremely late. Sounds like an analogy, but whatever. I like you. You seem like a cool dude. I understand what I'm talking about when I try to explain the vast feminist conspiracy to them. Denial is a terrible thing. Later. He claps her on the back and then vanishes in her room so quickly and quietly it's like he didn't even open the door, but instead walked right through it like a ghost. I don't know if I can fully digest what just happened there. So I give up and just go to my room, kicking off my shoes before falling face first into bed. It takes some time to relax and get up so I can get started on homework. And as the sheets are cool and comforting against my cheeks, and it feels good just lying there with my eyes closed. School's like some kind of bizarre and surrealist island. It's isolated on top of a mountain, and each person is stranger than the last. I just can't seem to fit in. What irony. One would think that fitting in a place like it's made for people who are unfit for anywhere else would be easy. Maybe I'm trying too hard. Though I say it, it doesn't help take the edge off, and the words are left echoing off my empty walls. I guess it's not as bad as expected, though. This place really is more a school and less a hospital pretending it's a school than I thought it would be. If nothing else, the scenery is beautiful. Opened one eye, seeing the school books and bottles of pills arranged side by side on my desktop. Maybe this place is too much like a normal school after all. Because yesterday itself was a very tiring day. On top of that, I woke up far earlier than necessary. Saying hi to Shizune and Misha, start doing the work as instructed from the board. Looks like today is going to be heavy. I don't problem with that now. Shizune and Misha might jump on me, trying to get answer about whether or not I decide to join the student council. It's just one day. Put it past the try. I don't have an answer for them to do, so it's convenient for me. Class, Hanako walks in and takes a seat and looks at her. The teacher doesn't even comment on our lateness. He does, however, stop us to say that we're going to break into groups again. I turn my head and see that Shizune and Misha are looking at me. Shizune gives me a smile that is equal parts cute and menacing. This is a smile that says, "We have you now, there is no escape." Chan, looks like we're together again. Yay! As always, her desk close to mine. There really is no escape now unless I were to jump through the window. Jumping out the window isn't the best option, sadly. What's wrong, Hee-chan? Been thinking about what you said yesterday. You said that you were joining the student council, didn't you? It's okay, we were talking about it after you left. It'd be rude to expect you to have an answer for us this early, right? Before I laugh at my expense and even more pleased to know that you both know how crazy the two of you can be. It's over. She steps back into serious mode and smacks today's assignment with the back of her hand in an overly dramatic and important way. So, it's mostly just reading. In fact, there are only 2 problems. Say something about her rush to get started seems a bit much considering the small amount of work. In fact, Shizune probably knows how little there is and simply doesn't care. Seems like work doesn't matter to her as much as the fact that there is work. And the actual amount is unimportant. She approaches everything with the same level of ambition. I was wondering whether we can catch Hanako solving the problems. Looks like she's working alone. I can't remember seeing her working with other people before. Thinking back to how shy she is, it's understandable. Hey, that girl over there. Uhi-chan. Hanako. Does she always work alone? Think so. Chan, do you feel sorry for her because she's alone? Just thinking that maybe she could work with us or something. No, I don't think that would be a good idea, Hee-chan. Why not? Chi-chan wouldn't get along with her. Why? Jeffers around the question, letting it a laugh that sounds very strange. It's nervous, but still has it lilting up quality present in everything she says. Just because, Hee-chan. Now, Shizune has noticed our conversation. Realize again how Misha's been saying everything she's been saying this whole time. What, Chi-chan? The friend of my enemy is my enemy? Sounds harsh. I'm not going to say that. You said it anyway. I know, Hu-chan. It's fine if you overhear. I wonder if that's Misha's way of keeping things fair, since without her, I wouldn't be able to understand a thing Shizune is saying, and vice versa. It's also why she signs all the time, so... She signs all the time, so there is never a conversation. Suzune will be left out. Problem now, Hee-chan. So I'd ask if there's any alternatives to the cafeteria. It's frankly the food so far has been subpar. Since Shinu and Misha are arguing themselves about their favorite restaurants, all of them are downtown, so I don't think we have time to go down all the way there. And what about the bill? Are they just arguing for the fun of it? Maybe. They seem so distracted by it that they don't even know it's the start of the actual lunch break. shoulder towards the back of the classroom, studying her notes from the previous class. It's an odd sight. Everyone else in the class is busy. It's also lunch break, socializing, reading. Just the ones with actual mock lunches mixed in like everyone else, only interrupted by short bouts of eating. What? Hanako, feels like I'm the only one who can see her, almost as if she was invisible, sort of hiding in plain sight. Is she being bullied? Is she isolating herself from the rest of class on her own accord? Through her shoulder towards the classroom's rear door. Come to think of it, she hasn't turned a page since I started watching her. I guess she's waiting for someone. What do... What to do? Like now. Few moments between classes. Page that I reached a corner of to mark the spot I left and try and pick from there. Misha and Suzuna are still arguing heatedly, probably about restaurants still. Join them. I just get caught up with that, or worse, get grilled about joining the student council. She isn't speaking aloud since there's nobody who'd need to hear what they are talking about. Why does she tend to sign things even when she doesn't need to understand what's being said? Strangely, when Shizune is not around at all, what an odd conflict of habits. Forced in the book besides. This break beckons me to leave the dullness of the classroom. I do, so heading down to the cafeteria. Misha and Shizune come to a conclusion of and I follow my wake, though still talking their animated fashion. Just around the corner of the hallway, something hits me in the chest. I don't know. Hold on. So I better say something. Hey, Hanako. Hisao? It's my name. Just wanted to apologize for yesterday. I mean to startle you or anything. Just knew her. I thought I should get to know my classmates. I noticed her scar once more. You can barely notice it from across the room, but it's so noticeable from close up. It's okay. It's my fault. It wasn't anyone's fault. It just kind of happened. I saw you looking at the door before. Lilly. Oh, you mean Lilly, the blonde girl. Response. I can't help but wonder if defining people through their disabilities is faux pas of the worst kind or just normal around here. I guess that explains why Lilly took off after her yesterday. She seems like a nice girl. Are you two friends? Yes. Here, she checks over her shoulder again. Hers against disturbing you right now. That's not it. It's just easier if Lilly doesn't come here. Oh, it's hard to get around the classroom? Not really. Ko's gaze drifts past my shoulder towards Shizune. Shizune? Ko nods again. Sure, they don't get along? Hanako shakes her head. Clearly, this is something she doesn't want to talk about. It does make a strange sort of sense. Shizune and Lilly not getting along so well. Communication between the two would be all but impossible. It's hard enough talking to Shizune through Misha, even when you see whose hands are talking. Hanako is so focused on Shizune that I'm the first to notice Lilly at the door. Oh, she's here now. Confirm this. Upon seeing Lilly, she moves quickly to the door. Lilly. Hanako, good morning. Is the president here? Yes. Glints of her shoulder at Shizune again, as if to confirm she can't hear them, even though that's impossible. So we best be off then. A silent tone of what seems like frustration makes me raise an eyebrow. I guess there's some kind of enmity between the two. It's intriguing, but that's not really something I'd ask about. Sure, if they wanted me to know, they would tell me. Stay here. You should be trying to make friends, not finding out why people are enemies. Still, it's a little funny to find out this school has little feuds, just like my old school. People are more tolerant to others. Their school going to get on each other's nerves. How are things? I'm sorry I made you run off yesterday. Oh, is that Hisao? I didn't realize you were here. That Lilly is a little bit embarrassed about being so frank in front of me. Sorry, Lilly. I thought you realized. Oh, it's all right. It's all right, Hanako. Please don't worry about your shades. It was just a misunderstanding. I'm still working this place out. I think you'll find most people here are more forgiving than elsewhere. Feeling a little confused, please don't be afraid to ask me questions. Sure, I'll remember that. Lilly? Small acknowledgement. Sorry, Sal, but we must be off. Hanako doesn't look all that comfortable here right now. Still seems a little embarrassed. My apologies really made any impact. Mind if I accompany you two? But Lilly hums quietly, still smiling. We could accommodate you, can't we, Hanako? Lilly then at me, and then she freezes wide-eyed. Sure. Shall we go? Do this so easily if she's how scared Hanako looks, but it can't be helped now. Declining after the deal is sealed would only cause confusion and problems. So we leave, all three together. Side, letting her cane gently tap it every now and then. Hanako comes along right beside her, so close that she's practically half hugging her as they go. Although it must make her walking that much harder, Lilly takes it in stride. Where something hits me in the chest with the force of a steam train. Hanako shrieks a little, and my vision briefly goes black. Opening my eyes, I see a pair of saucer-like green eyes staring up at me. They belong to the perpetrator, a short girl who bumped into me and now has fallen down to the hallway floor. She wears a PE uniform and very frown. The former strikes me as a rather strange thing to have on during the lunch break. During that, though, is she doesn't have legs. Or she does, but they're not flesh and bone. Her pale and very much flesh and bone eyes ends and feet made of some black metallic or plastic-like material. They look disturbingly artificial and natural. It almost makes me forget that my chest is hurting. Cicilla rubs her nose and jumps up. Oh man, hey, are you alright? Sorry about that, really. Looking where I was going and just came out of nowhere. Sorry. Apologetic. In the hurt puppy way of looking apologetic. Forget about being everything, since hurt puppies are my weak spot. It's okay, don't worry about it. Ouch. Stinging pain growing in my cheek. I know that this is about the biggest possible danger for my condition. Don't overexert yourself. Don't forget your medication. Most of all, don't get hit in the chest. Solar plexus just pain away, but holding my breath in an attempt. I try to rub my solar plexus to chase the pain away, holding my breath in an attempt to hear my heartbeat. It seems normal. Hey, should I get a nurse? The worried high pitch so the girl snaps me out of it. First I get dumbfounded until I realize that I probably look worse off than I realized, doubled over myself and looking all tense. Damn, I'm overly worried about my heart. No need, I'm fine. You say something in response. I pull myself upright, feeling my sore ribs one last time and taking a deep breath. She just knocked the wind out of me big time, but there's nothing more than that. I hit you pretty hard. It's okay. I said I was fine and nothing's broken, no harm done. Good, I was... what happened? Right up to speed for obvious reasons. Sounds very worried. More than what the situation deserves, really. Someone just bumped into me. Nothing serious, just winded. It's my fault. I was just going to get some stuff and I was kind of in a hurry. That someone here is Emmy, isn't it? Girl looks quiet and shuffles her plastic or metallic feet, looking down at them before saying anything. Hi, Lilly, Hanako. I guess the girls know each other. Do please to try to be more careful. Be sturdy enough to endure these sorts of accidents. There are people who aren't. The girl blushes and starts to fidget nervously like a little child caught misbehaving. So cute, I find myself smiling. I know, I gotta go. Teacher left my head. I promised with printouts, but I went running instead. Sorry, I gotta change and everything. Say anything. Emmy has bolted away already, leaving the hallway eerily quiet. Does that kind of thing happen often around here? There are more rules than Yamaku than usual for running in corridors. But that rarely stops Emmy, it seems. She shakes her head weakly and offers a slight, composed smile. I don't think there's anything we can do to stop her. I'm afraid she'll be off then? Heads off along the hallway, and Hanako hurries after her. The route to the room the two for tea is fairly simple to retrace, being still fresh in my mind from yesterday. Go about the business of making lunch. I can even open my small bag of food. Lily's busying herself with her thermos and tea bags as Hanako is setting out both their lunch boxes. So this is what you meant by coming here almost every day. Hanako and I usually have lunch here. Suits both of us, so we end up using this room regularly. Seeing Riko's reaction to me over the past couple days, I can understand why that is a boon. That and Lily being able to get some quiet away from our class as well. I take my seat last, after Lily's poured the tea for us and sits down. The more time I spend with these two girls, the more I think they're a perfect foil to Misha and Shizune. Without a voice, Shizune is direct and brash, and Misha seems to get along with everyone. On the other hand, Lily is soft-spoken and relaxed, while Hanako seems to be the shyest girl I've ever met. So how faring in Yamakosa? You seem a bit flustered before. For getting lost every now and then, being crash-chuckled out to my classroom, fine, I guess. Looked pretty hurt before. Are you really okay? For a brief moment, I considered telling Hanako and Lil about my condition, but then I hold it back. I can't tell why, but for some reason I feel uncomfortable talking about it to these relative strangers, even if they have been pretty friendly. I was just a bit startled. You girls' expressions. I don't think they're buying it, but in what I assume is their way of respecting my privacy, they don't press the matter. I guess this is one of the unwritten rules around here. Don't ask. Even if people's conditions are obvious, like Hanako's, there's still bound to be a story involved. Everyone has things that they don't feel comfortable speaking about, and I think everyone here recognizes that. So, how long have you been in this school? Seem to know your way around pretty well. Well, I've been here since the start of high school, but only moved into the dormitories a year ago. Hanako joined at the start of high school as well. The dormitories, when she did, if memory serves me right. That's right, since high school. So you've known each other since then? Since I moved, yes. Hanako lives next door to me, so it's only natural, right? Right. Of course. Someone is probably reason enough to befriend them. I'm guessing that Lily's blindness played a part in that as well. I can't imagine Hanako easily making friends with someone who has to deliberately avoid looking at her scars. The immediate conversation dried up. We start to eat our lunch. It's long before the bells are signaling the end of break. Like me, the girls pack up their lunches officially as they set them out. But Ralph, are you going to go with Hisao, Hanako? Looks at me for a second. I can see she's considering skipping class. Maybe just to avoid walking to classroom with me. Yes. Think of it. Go really is delicate to the point of breaking if looked at in the wrong way. It makes me a bit nervous too, but I push the feeling aside, trying to be as natural as I can. Hurry then. Class has already started by the sound of it. It's a nod of farewell as she bends down to take her cane. Hanako and I are filing out before her. The empty calls to our respective classes. Reach the door to Lily's L2 classroom, she turns towards me. Hisao, thank you for sharing lunch with us today. My pleasure, Lily. Ways, Lily enters her classroom and leaving Hanako and me on our own. Still looks like she wants to run away. Do you really want to go back to class now? Yes. Okay then. I should say nothing more there, but it's hard to come up with anything that would be appropriate and safe enough. The more time we spend out here, the more explaining we have to do. Go to the class and walk in. Opens his mouth to say something. As Hanako follows me in and closes the door, he simply nods to us and continues his lecture. This is the third time that Hanako has had her truancy practically ignored. There's definitely something going on here. her way to her seats, and I noticed that Misha and Shizuna are both missing as well. I wonder if it's some form of informal agreement with the staff, or if it's a perk afforded to the unique students of the school. Trying to make as little disturbance as I can, I extract the relevant textbooks from my bag and start catching up. The class goes on quietly. The teacher seems like an okay person despite the weird first impression I got, and the material is relatively interesting. The way he teaches is really bizarre. It's as if he expects that everyone is a natural genius. When the final bell sounds, I realize that there is still a lot left in the day, and I'm wondering what left to do. God, at hospital I had it for 24 hours day free time, but here, filling the considerable shorter hours feels difficult. I'll sleep, and I'm left alone with the teacher. Joe was examining the assignment sheets we were working on earlier, marking them with a red ball pen. He edged from his papers briefly. He noticed me and furrows his brow. What is it, Nakai? Trust me, but I guess it's natural to spark some conversation since there's nobody else around. Thinking about what I do after school. Cap on the pen he's holding and arranges his paper into a stack, flacking it against the desk twice. It's very methodical. For a brief moment, I'm reminded of Shizune. The teacher is more unhurried and relaxed, much more routine. No plans? It's a student club, but I don't know what kind of club would interest me. Observe a meeting of someone else's club might pique your interest. I guess I'm just continue from there. Way that looks at me in a way that makes me quickly want to take the words back to avoid a conversation. But I can't, so I have to forge ahead. I just don't know how to deal with people. I mean, the other students, people and everything. So it's not that I'd be isolated or anything. Just know what to think about disbeliefs. It's like it feels that I'm being impolite if I pay attention to them, and it's weird to ignore them. Damned if I do, damned if I don't. His cheek absent eye, looking very unresponsive. These things are only an issue if you make them one. You can talk normally to someone even if they're blind or something. Try to look behind the superficial. There's not a single student here who isn't just a normal kid behind whatever they might seem at first glance. He says the same thing as Yuko did. I know they're right, but it's hard. Well, could you not consider, for example, Shizune's deafness, when the only way to communicate with her is to talk through Misha? Or Hanako. It's not like you can ignore her face. But I'm interrupted by the door of the classroom suddenly slamming open. Teacher! Misha crashed in, enthusiastic greeting, her voice loud and lively enough to wake the dead from the grave. He starts towards the teacher's desk with her bouncing step, hands energetically swinging with the rhythm. Visibly dismayed at the interruption, Misha in general slumps in her chair. Mikado? Misha stops in her tracks and looks around cluelessly if she's sensing from his tone that something's wrong but has no idea what. Yes? We have talked about volume control before. Yes? She doesn't lower her voice at all, and the teacher just rubs his eyes. So what is it? We need help. We're running out of supplies for the festival stands. This is a distress. Pinks up a paper she's holding around. So go get more supplies from the art room. What's the problem with that? Plywood. Plywood is always the problem. We wanted more. There was only a little. That time we just took it all and went with that. Now there's none left. There's none left there. So do you know where there is some? I don't understand. How would I know? John, I mean, the president thought that the teacher would know if there is plywood. Was she wrong? She looks like he's in great pain, frowning with his entire essence, and Misha doesn't get it at all. The two of them communicate is terrible, like looking at a man being tortured by drilling his skull open while blasting pop music at full volume at the same time. I'm afraid I have no idea if there is any plywood in the school, let alone where it would be if there was any. Oh, what should I do? Perhaps try to find Mr. Yeah, quite sure you would know where to find everything you need. You'd have to pry them from his cold dead hands, but that's a different matter. I don't have time, we're so busy. So, with both of her hands, looking as despairing as it's possible for a person like her, seeing she crumples the note she's holding against her hair. I shouldn't even be fetching these, there's so much to do and we're falling behind the schedule. Gravely, and then suddenly smiles. Smiling doesn't fit his face. I think it'd be better if he didn't. Wonder if you could get some temporary help. staring at me focusedly with a hard expression as if to say, go make some friends. I guess I can give you a hand. Thanks, Ichan, you really are nice. It's my finger helping and looking very puzzled. Think of it, what's Ichan doing here? You should be having fun. We just had a little chat. Oh no, it's not detention, is it? Are you in trouble, Ichan? No, I'm not. Is Ichan in trouble, teacher? No, he's not. Eyes deeply, and I feel that I have to help. You should get her off the teacher's back. So what do you need? It's a list. I can try to find the plywood from somewhere if there's none in the art room. I take it, hesitating a bit. Help you. This has no implications on whether I'm joining the council or not. Aww. Thanks, try to be real quick. We're in a all-building streak right now. We must hurry, hurry, hurry. Me and the teacher looking at each other with something that feels like a silent agreement. There you have it. You have something to do now. Please don't sound so smug. Ranged from paint to plywood, all written with small neat handwriting. This is undoubtedly Shizune's. I leave a sigh. I'll be going then. On list with the teacher, I went to the hallway. The classroom close doors are designated belonging to 3-1 and 3-2 on the right side, and 3-4 on the left side, each looking exactly the same. Further down the corridor, still with identical doors, are rooms that I don't think were used for classes. I guess the art room is not a classroom as such. I carefully push open the furthest door and peek in. And it seems rather kept or not in use. Am I in the right place? Let's see. Actually, I think before anything else happens, I think we're going to call it for here. But I am very much enjoying this. I'm enjoying the story. I'm interested to see. I'll be interested to see how it continues. So yes, we'll pick this up next week. So, make it okay. Well, I hope you're able to get some good sleeps. So, but yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed for the first installment of Katawa Shoujo. And we'll pick that up next time.